Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is often remembered as the scariest game in the series. No security cameras, no phone calls, just a child alone in a dark bedroom listening for monsters that may or may not be there. Released in 2015, FNAF 4 marked a huge turning point for the franchise. It wasn't just about animatronics anymore, it was about fear itself. So today let's take a short retrospective look at Five Nights at Freddy's 4, what it did right, what confused players, and why it still matters today. Unlike the previous games, FNAF 4 strips everything down. There are no cameras to rely on, no UI telling you what's happening. Survival depends entirely on sound. You're forced to lean into darkness, literally listening for breathing. Every moment feels tense because you're never fully sure if you're safe. This design choice made FNAF 4 deeply immersive, but brutally unforgiving. The game doesn't teach you how to survive, it expects you to learn through fear, repetition, and failure. And that's what makes it so effective. Fear wasn't just on screen, it was in your headphones. The Nightmare animatronics are some of the most unsettling designs in the entire franchise. Sharp teeth, glowing eyes, distorted proportions. These aren't mascots gone wrong, they're exaggerated fears. They don't feel like real animatronics, they feel like monsters from a child's imagination, twisted versions of something once familiar. Nightmare Fredbear in particular stands out. His presence feels symbolic and less like a character and more like a manifestation of trauma. These designs reinforce the idea that FNAF 4 isn't happening in a physical space, it's happening in the mind. Although we do now know, obviously for a while now, that it did happen, but it was caused by a certain type of gas and it was making the child like imagine these animatronics in such a horrible way. Story wise, FNAF 4 is one of the most debated in the entire series. Through 8-bit minigames, you follow a crying child, bullied, terrified, and seemingly traumatized by Freddy Fazbear Pizza. The infamous Bite of 83 becomes a central moment, reshaping the timeline of the franchise and sparking years of theory debates. Was the entire game a dream, a coma, a memory replayed through guilt? Scott Cawthon intentionally left these answers vague, and while that mystery kept the community engaged, it also frustrated players who wanted clarity. FNAF 4 didn't just tell a story, it challenged players to interpret it. Looking back, FNAF 4 represents the moment this series shifted from simple horror to psychological storytelling. It raised the skill ceiling, leaned heavily into symbolism, and cemented FNAF as a franchise built on lore speculation. While later games would expand the universe even further, FNAF 4 remains unique. It's intimate, isolated, and it feels quite personal. It's not about haunted robots, it's about childhood fear, trauma, and the things that stay with us long after the lights turn off. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 may not be everyone's favorite, but it's impossible to ignore the impact. It's a game that dared to be quieter, darker, and more uncomfortable. And even years later, it remains one of the most unsettling experiences the series has ever produced. Because sometimes, the scariest monsters aren't watching you from a camera, they're waiting for you in the dark, just outside your door. Alright, everybody. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me. It's been really awesome. Thanks for loving all that. New videos again coming soon. I'm gonna try to get some out very soon if I can. It's just taking a little longer for the editing process because my computer kind of freaking sucks. But yeah, again, guys, thanks again. Love you guys all, or I love all you guys. Sorry. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.